Hello, I'm Cami and you're watching What's Hot. We're here at the Beluga Bar, one of the hottest, most trendiest places located in Bermuda, where you can get the best sushi on the island. Open 6 days a week from Monday through to Saturday. We're here with a special episode and one of the hottest producers on island, 8Track, stationed in Atlanta. So please tell us a little bit about how you first realized you had a passion for music.
I think a lot of it had to do with my mother and my father, because I have older parents, and like they inflicted in me like a lot of soul music, a lot of old school stuff like the Isley Brothers, Teddy Pendergrass, like everything. And you know, just from young, I just developed like this love for old school music, right? And my uncle also, who in Spanish Town, they call him Stork.
Yes.
But you know, like I had like a lot of influences growing up, and when I got like around about 12, 13 years old, I had the opportunity to work in the studio and learn how to make beats and things like that. And even when I first started, like you know, nobody didn't even teach me how to make music. Actually, in school, when I was actually taking music, it wasn't even like one of my best subjects, like that I even did at school at all. So, you know, once I started to learn how to make music and stuff, you know, without anybody teaching me, I just stayed consistent with it, you know what I'm saying? Because it was new to me. Growing up, it was either I play basketball or do music, you know what I'm saying? So,
nice. Do you have a specific instrument that you love or that you play?
I actually started playing the flute growing up.
Yes.
But to me, that felt too feminine. You know what I'm saying? So I just didn't really, I actually stopped playing instruments, and I just got into more the digital side from a young age.
Very nice. I actually play the clarinet. You probably
But that's
know
not
that.
bad though. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not bad. I just wouldn't play the clarinet or flute, nothing like that.
Being that your parents surrounded you around all the older kind of segment of music, do you feel that that gave you an ear for tunes and vocals and instruments, period?
I'd say yeah, because, you know, when you grow up, growing up on like the music that came out from back in the day, it was more instrumentation.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So growing up, I actually listened to more old school music than actually new school.
Yes.
You know, and of course it's because of my parents, but I just developed a love and a passion for it and stuff. But then when I started listening to rap music, I started to listen to rap music where you would have like rappers that would actually sample the music from back in the day.
So they basically take the foundation and make it modern.
Right, basically, yeah.
Yes.
And then that's what I actually started to do when I first started to make beats.
Yes.
Like from a young age, like I said, I was like 12, 13 starting to like know how to make beats on an ASR-10 keyboard.
Yes.
You know, and you know, I used to sample like, you know, some of like the stuff I grew up listening to. And that, you know, it just became my style.
Being that you've been sampling more the foundation of the music, the old school music, do you find your audience to be more broader, or who are your target audience?
Honestly, my audience is just basically who has a good ear for music.
Yes.
Because I feel that like as a substantial person and a substantial like producer and musician, that I'm gonna develop like people that I'm gonna end up developing an audience that likes my style and like they have an appreciation for music, you know. But I'm versatile too, you know. I like, even though I might sample and do like the old school vibe, but I'm very current when it comes to making music and stuff. So, and plus like I just didn't listen to like a particular type of music. I knew what I liked, but I also listened to like a lot of other stuff. Like I grew up also listening to house music,
Very versatile.
disco, you know, a lot of stuff, but you know, it just had to be good to me.
Okay, and how are your parents feeling about your career now?
My mother she has been my number one supporter. She has been my number one supporter, and she's proud. You know, unfortunately, you know, my father, he passed away in 2000, so you know, I know he's watching over me, but my mother, she is like my biggest supporter, and you know, she talks about me to everybody, and she does. Like people come up to me and tell me what she says, because you know, she doesn't really tell me herself, because we had that type of relationship. But I know it's all love. But she's happy for me.
Very nice. And what age were you when you started to take producing serious?
I was about serious. I'll say around about 16.
16.
Yeah, because I wanted to be around that time. It was like a lot of senior producers in the game, and I actually wanted to be one of the first young producers. You know, so I had this dream that like as soon as I got out of high school, I'm gonna be like this young producer in the industry, and then also coming from Bermuda. But it didn't happen like that, because things take time, you know. I would say that a talent that I ended up developing as I got into music, because see, when you recognize a skill that you have to devote yourself to it, right? So what I did, I devoted myself to my skill, which was making music from a young age. And then as I, you know, evolved, well, still evolving, but as I was evolving, I ended up developing this skill to where I could hear one song and then hear the whole entire beat. Wow. You know, so like I could hear a string and then I would know like what else I want to hear, or like a sample, and like hear everything else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So while you was growing up, did you feel that Bermuda was going to be the place that you wanted to do with your career, or did you want to go overseas? Did that ever even cross your mind?
See, because there's no industry in Bermuda to where people are actually living off the music, I knew I had to leave at some point. And I always, you know, looked at myself as a person who was going to leave Bermuda and represent for Bermuda at some point, you know. But yeah, I always had that mentality that I would leave Bermuda and pursue.
Very nice. Okay, so we understand that you have a passion for music, but tell us, growing up, did you ever get to work with any locals or anyone overseas?
Yeah, I work with like a bunch of locals. Actually, it's actually too many to name. But I started like getting involved like in the music scene in Bermuda when the underground show was popping.
Yes, we're familiar with that.
Right. So basically, every year, the underground will have hip hop shows, well, music shows, and you know, I decided to get myself involved, and I was working with like a lot of, you know, local talent, and I ended up getting like, you know, Producer of the Year award like twice in Bermuda.
Yeah.
And then I was also featured in the Show Off magazine, Style Bermuda, the Royal Gazette, RG magazine, even did a segment for VSB. You know, it was a lot of things that like I was like involved in.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Especially on the local scene. But then what happened, you know, I just, you know, made that decision to leave Bermuda at some point. Yes. Because like even with those accomplishments, it wasn't getting me nowhere.
That's what I wanted to ask you. With those accomplishments and actually having, because a lot of people say it's nothing to do in Bermuda with music. It's nothing here in Bermuda for the people that are in the music industry. But with all the stuff that you've done in Bermuda, do you feel that it helped you to build your resume and that is helping you now overseas? Did you learn things from being hands-on here in Bermuda that you can take with you abroad as well?
To be honest, no. Nothing that I done here actually like prepared me for anything abroad, because like I said, it's no market in Bermuda, and you know, unfortunately, a lot of people, they don't have the full motivation to take herself that serious when it comes to making music down here because there's no industry for it.
Yes.
So you would have artists that will record tonight, but then go to work tomorrow. You know,
Yes.
like you might see them pumping gas or working at Balco and things like that. And it's unfortunate because Bermuda has like a lot of talent, but because of it being the industry here, you know, nobody is really like that motivated.
Yes.
You know, so but no, everything I done here, it actually didn't contribute towards anything. It was me leaving Bermuda and going to Atlanta.
Very interesting you said Atlanta. When we come back, we're going to hear more about 8Track's career in Atlanta.
When I first went there, they was like, oh, well, you know, we went over our budget. So we want to sign you, but we don't know when it's going to happen.